Hi everyone, who hates popcorn stitches? Hands up. Actually, I don't mind popcorn stitches, I really don't. I can handle them. But this blanket I'm currently doing has a huge number of popcorn stitches. In fact, I think one round was like 440 at one side, at one stage. So, and the next part of this blanket is more popcorn stitches. So I came up with this way to do it. Now, if you look at this blanket, down here, there were 2 rounds of popcorns. The first was red. We did 1 round of red popcorns where you did your popcorn, you did a few chain, and then you did a single crochet down in between, and then you did a more chain and another popcorn. And then for the second round, you did your green popcorn, and then you did some chain. You did a what do you call it? Oh dear, a single front post SC around the previous, the existing popcorn, few chain, and then another popcorn. Okay, so I didn't want to go through that again. I really didn't want to go through that again. So what I'm actually doing is doing both the green and the red at the same time. And let me show you how I'm doing that. So what I've got here is I know that there are there's 4 chain and 1 single crochet between each red popcorn. So normally what it is, it's popcorn, skip 2 stitches, do a single crochet in the next stitch, 2 more popcorn, 2 more chain, skip 2 more stitches, and then another popcorn. So what I'm actually doing here is I'm actually chaining 6 instead. Okay, I'm just chaining 6. So I'm going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to skip 5. 1, 2. So that's 2 that I would be skipping normally. And then normally I would be doing a single crochet into there, and then I'd be doing another chain of 3 and doing skipping 2 and doing my popcorn, my second popcorn. So what I'm doing here is skipping 2, 4, 5, and I'm going into my 6th stitch with another, not popcorn, another group of 5 double crochets. Now this, you might think, well, how does this turn into popcorn? So I'm going about to show you. So we do your 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right. I'm going to put a stitch marker on that so that doesn't unravel on me. Whoops, lost me stitch marker, and I'll put that there. Okay, so now I'm going to go back here to where I've done my green. You can see these have turned into popcorn. And so how have I done that? Well, I've done it in exactly the same way as I've previously done, sort of. So what I'm doing is I've done my 5 double crochet for a popcorn. I'm not taking the hook out and going into the first, no, not doing any of that, just leaving it as is. I'm going to do chain 2, because the second round, when you do this, tells you to do a chain 2, and then it tells you to do a front post single crochet around your next popcorn. Well, what I'm actually doing here is doing a front post, I suppose you could call it a front post, single crochet, and that is what's going to make it pop. Okay, can you see that? It's just, and then I'm going to chain 2 again. Okay, and then I've got to do a popcorn in the middle stitch between these. So what I'm doing is skip 2. I'm going to do a popcorn in there, but I'm not doing a popcorn. I'm just doing 5 double crochet because I'm going to do the popcorn bit later on. And I'm working over that red chain, and I'm going to do 6 popcorn. And in this way, not only I'm doing 2 rows at once, but I'm avoiding having to keep taking my hook out and putting it into the first stitch to create my popcorn, and it's going to go a lot faster, and I'm actually doing 2 rows at once. So I'm going to chain 2, And around this, I'm going to go under there and out here. I'm going to do a single crochet, which is going to hold that forward and cause the popcorn. See the popcorns there? Now, you might think, well, Sam, what happens here? Well, what happens here simply is, I'm going back to here, the next row, as you can see, the next row around here was to do a front post double crochet around each of the popcorns. Okay, so when I come to do that, I'm going to do a front post double crochet in the same way I just did my single front post single crochet, and that's what's going to make that pop. And then I just put another double crochet front post around that. So I hope that is understandable. So I'm keeping the same number of chain, I'm keeping the same number of popcorns, I'm keeping the spacing all same. I'm just not doing it in 2 rows. I'm doing 1 row. I suppose I could do 1 row and then just come over and do the second row, but I'm doing both rows at once. And I'm not wasting time removing my hook and putting it into that first stitch. I'm allowing the front post double crochet that will happen in the next round for this one to pull the popcorn together, just as I am allowing the front post, if you want to call it a front post, front post single crochet in that gap, out that gap. I'm allowing that front post single crochet to actually bring that popcorn together to pop out. Okay, so when I come around and do the next row, as I say, I'm guessing it's going to be very similar to this, and I'm going to be working 3 stitches in this gap, which I can work over both stitches if I want to, both chains if I want to. I'm going to work a front post around this one, and then I'm going to work a front post around this one, which will create the popcorn. And that way I've done 2 rounds of popcorn without actually doing a popcorn. Yeah, easy as that. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.